Hello and welcome back. I got a little bit too caught up in my Binding of Isaac and didn't realize that this was going on, and yeah, 3 minutes have passed, almost. So this hand doesn't really interact at all, it just kind of smashes, but that's fine. Um, Scavenging Ooze can interact, Wasteland can interact. I mean, they can interact, but you know what I mean when I say interact. This is not the type of interaction that I would typically be interested in. Again, basic sword goes for basics, so yeah. We're gonna go with the Pride Mage next turn. Most likely Agrolum. Trying to think, like, I know I could be missing a damage, but at least I'm forcing him to fetch a basic, right? All right, let's see what land we're getting. This is Volcanic Island. Yep. Okay, so Canadian Thresh, which is the like the third thought that I had when I was trying to think of different decks. Um, which gives me an urge. I want to find out if he's got the stifle. I think it's worth finding out. Yeah, we get a card out of him, or we don't. We get to play around days. Not Spell Snare. Screw you. Still playing Spell Snare. God. So few decks are doing that these days. And it's a goose. With another bolt. Or forked bolt. So he didn't have the stifle. Um, if he swings with that goose, I'm going to fetch out the ooze. Or not the ooze, but the Dryad Arbor. I understand being a basic horrors meant that I can't play Liliana. What is it? Tech Godfather. Instead of the Godfather. T-E-H. Interesting, interesting. Alright, so there's a Delver. Here is a dead goose. It's not often that you get to kill a goose like this. Go get the swamp. Going for the pulse. If he's got a counter, he's going to use it on this. I assume he has a daze, if you're wondering. Yep, there it goes. So he's got blank Trop in hand. It was a Trop, right? Don't actually remember. There's the brainstorm that we knew about. We know that he had a land. That's the important piece. And that land is now on the top of his deck, so he's got two new cards. I would love a land. That's a top. I am going to go ahead and try and put this down. I assume he could have another counter. But he does not. I now have an 8/8. Fear me. But we are at 12 life, which is important to realize. And now we're at 9, so like, things could shift for the nasty here. And that's a Goyf. I'm going to get this down and look. If I see a swords, I may pop it for the Delver. I do not, though. I don't really see anything that I want. So what we're looking at right now is we're going to be fetching for Maze of Ith to stop that and re-looking. Yep. Still can't swing with that, can you, buddy? We're getting rid of the forest. I know it's game 1, but still Submerge exists. So, Maze. Stifles will hurt. Stifles turn into lightning bolts, if you're wondering. Let's see, there's a scrub land. I'm game for a scrub land. And with this, I'm actually going to force discard. Spell Pierce. I can live with that. I wanted to just make you discard anyway. Alright, so big Goyf, little Goyf. Everybody wants a Goyf. I do want this Stoneforge Mystic. I'm actually going to give up the top. Wait, what am I saying? Did I just say that right? So I do want this Stoneforge Mystic. And we're actually getting Jit with this. Come here. The reason we're getting Jit is because this will hold that off. Stoneforge Mystic will also put in some effort on it. We're still dead to 2 bolts, but at least once we get that into play, I can look next turn and I can actually maze this. So he gets a choice of what he's going to survive. Alright. Always to the wire, to the limit, to the wall. So, yeah. If he doesn't have the stifle, which is what that just read to me, we should be fine here. I've got to stop at my end of combat. Yeah. Go get that one. We're going to activate. Yes, I'd like to use that ability. I think that it should just go into doing it for you. Like just skipping the yes, no question part of that and just like giving you the option to select an equipment to put into play or okay. And when I say or okay, I mean literally. Or just hit the OK button. Alright, so that part's done. I did have a bolt, did not have that. So then we just maze our guy. I mean, if he had the stifle, he had it last turn. So, our guy versus his guy. Lucky for us, he had used 1 bolt already. Alright, so there's the game. And we're off to the races for game 2. Now we play the No Forest game. Yay! Everybody loves the No Forest game. Oh, I love the no forest game. Thalia's come here, Chokes come here, and one of you come here. And never really liked casting Thoughtseize against them. Liliana does her job, but not as well as I'd like. I guess there is some argument to taking away equipment. He did see the equipment, so he will be bringing in his equipment removal, which, that's fine. I mean, so be it. This is the no choke game now. Or no, not no choke, but the landed choke don't have a forest and have a gigantic beater with something to take care of the air. We only have one flyer, so when I say something to take care of the air, you know what I'm talking about. Alright, and well, this doesn't get choked, and it kills just about everything, and gets killed by just about everything. Our worst friend is we're gonna go with that one first. Our worst friend is the other guy. The Nimble Mongoose. Wow, God, I am doing terrible with names. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm just always terrible with names. It's always been that way. So, I'm assuming that he has a creature. No. Yes. No. No. Yes. We're going with Bob. Bob will trade with Mongoose. Bob will get a bolt. Bob will be snared. Whatever. Thalia can kill Goose. So that's more so what we're aiming at. We have to, if he plays a creature next turn that's not a goose, we're going to kill that creature. Okay, he didn't play a creature that wasn't a goose. So this time we're going to go for Thalia. I understand I'm still leaving myself set up for days with the choke off of the Thalia out there, but I mean, we can't do everything all the time. Got a removal spell? I'm assuming you do. I already have more forests than I'd want. There's a removal spell. Alright. So 5 cards in his yard. And now we can do this part. So we lose to a spell pierce. We lose this to a spell pierce, a force of will. We can beat a daze. If he gets a daze, yeah, he gets one of his lands back. We can't beat 2 dazes. But even though he's thresholded, we should still be okay. Alright, so he's at least back down on lands. Creatures that he's got is the best creature that he could have. We should be able to cast most of the things in our deck. I hate bleeding life like this, if you're wondering. Another one? Really? No, that's a daze. So yeah, another one? Really? Alright. At least we could land at the library. That'll help us find something that's bigger. Unfortunately, Knight is a little guy right now, so that's something to keep in mind. Where are you coming from? Goif. That one I didn't care about. Do I wish to use this ability? I will always say yes to this, and you can just bring them. So if we see a Knight, what we'll probably do is play the knight, swords the goyf, and we don't see a knight, so that's completely irrelevant. I'm going to get the blocker for the ooze. I'm not going to pay 4 life for anything, or the blocker for the mongoose. We will go ahead and swords you. So, alright. So we have a blocker for this turn. It'll put 2 lands in, so knight will be big enough to block that. It'll require 2 bolts. We're more so just buying time with it. So if he's looking for a bolt, which is, I'm fine with that as well. If he uses the bolt, I'll just take this damage. Like, you have to tank something every now and then. And we are not the aggro deck in this matchup, which is part of the problem. This is also where, funny card name, thinking. Timely reinforcements would be great. We'd gain 6 life and be able to block 9 damage, so essentially gain 15 against this situation. Yep, we're blocking. Yay, knight's bigger. Ugh. Alright. Diamond, just show me the cards. Show me the cupcakes. Cupcake, cupcake. Cupcake, cupcake. No cupcake. I don't want to pay 4 life for either of these. Alright, and let's look here. And I think we just died. Yeah. Not being able to find a creature hurt. Alright, so by name, by converted mana cost. I think I actually like the Liliana over the top. Not over the swords. Like, it gives us something to fight off the little guy with. Raises our converted mana cost through the roof. And yes, I'd like to play first. God, this hand is terrible. I'm keeping it. I'm going to pitch the Maze of Ith. And play the Wasteland. This puts up swords. Again, we have the same threatening character across our way. I'm going to let this finish resolving before I do anything else here. I'm actually going to let it get all the way to my turn. There may be a knight or some other 2-drop that I want to land and be able to pay for days. So, like, Goyf would be one of those 2-drops. I'm going to go ahead and fetch out Basic Swamp. Oh, what else do we got here? Him missing land drops. Well, guess what? That's perfectly fine, because I don't have any creatures. So I can't even punish you for this. And I don't want that one. Oh, all of the removal in the world. Let's just go ahead and... I'm going to play this out there. I realize that he could just get something in Submerge, but, I mean, so be it. 18 land deck, 18 creature deck. Not even 18 creature. Oh, come on. Yarg. I should just F6 on his turn, except for, well, I could F4. I'll be F4ing from now on. F4. Believe me, when you do something, just not a goose, I'm going to kill it. I'm going to kill it dead. Right! Which means that this will be turning into a wasteland very shortly. I can take this pause off. Did you find a land? Land, 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 land. Sorry for this game. This is a stellar game. I mean, my hand wasn't the greatest. I knew that it was missing a creature. You're going to have to submerge me now. If you try and get greedy, you're going to lose your land. If you've got the submerge, use it. It's going to be the only way that you stay in this. Did not have the submerge. I'm just going to milk a little bit more out of him. I know he put a land somewhere in the top 3 or else he shuffled. I didn't pay attention. Okay. So yeah, this game is over. It was over the point that he fumbled and I finally found a knight. And, I mean, so be it. So we're 2-0 now. Canadian Thresh again beaten down, although the last time it beat me in the finals. Different player, though. So hopefully we'll keep this up and be 4-0 at the end of this. Alright, everybody. Have a good day.